Ladies and gentlemen, for the first time here on the Island Heat Show, we have the starlet herself. Everybody, welcome to the show, Silla.
Hey, 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 hey.
Welcome, welcome, Lady Lalabella,
Thank you.
Silla, Lila Balabella, Super Peck. We're
Hello.
here.
Hello. Hello, beautiful.
Listen, I'm Canadian born. Tell us about that first and foremost, because when we hear these sounds, we don't think Canada first and foremost. You know, we definitely think we hear the Afrobeat, so we're thinking the motherland. We're thinking maybe Caribbean influence, but first thing that jumped to mind isn't Canada. So tell us about the Canuck side of you. Born in Canada, but tell us where's the family background from.
Yeah, yes. So, my family comes from Ghana. I actually used to live in Ghana when I was a kid. I was one of those children that their parents, shipped them back for a little bit to
Okay.
gain some, knowledge and discipline and stuff like that. So, my parents are from Ghana. I also lived in Ghana. My parents are very intertwined with the culture. So even when I came back to Canada, I always went back to Ghana very often. My parents had businesses going on there, so my roots were very close to me growing up. I grew up eating African food. Using African products, just doing like things as if I was living in Ghana. It's just when I went
Right.
to school, it's a whole different thing. But as soon as I got back home,
Uh-huh.
I'm getting that Ghana treatment, those Ghana whoopings on top of Ghana things. You know what I'm saying?
So been through the true traditional upbringing. The fact that you're in Canada didn't escape you from being 100% Ghanaian.
No, definitely. I mean, my parents are very they're very much into instilling the culture in me and my siblings. So that was something that I couldn't run away from. Even though I was raised in a neighborhood that was not Ghanaian or not that many Africans even.
Uh-huh.
That's where the Caribbean influence came. I was actually one of the only people from like Ghana in the school I was going in. I was getting raised. A lot of my friends were Caribbean people. Actually, I was probably one of the only Africans in the school. But I always looked at everybody as African, and they're looking at me like, "I ain't African." I'm just like, "Yes, you are. Yes, you are. Don't start with me." You know. But I got very involved in the Caribbean culture with that reason, and my kids are even half Jamaican. I've gone to Jamaica many times, and honestly, it's the reggae music, dancehall music, soca. Those are all the music that I used to listen to, especially outside of my household. When I was at home, I was listening to African music, which used to be called in my culture hip life. But growing up, I listened to a lot of reggae, soca, R&B. So heavily influenced by that type of those genres of music. So now you hear in my sound because it's like a mixture of who I am, my culture, but the music that I also enjoyed singing and being raised with
Right.
growing up. In Canada, it's a very strong Caribbean culture here in Canada for sure, especially Jamaican culture.
Definitely, yeah, especially there in Toronto,
Yes, yes,
specifically. Yeah.
yeah,
Lady
yeah.
Lalabella.
I mean, I'm just blown away by the music and the stories
Thank
that you're
you.
telling from your past and how you're integrating it into your sounds. Tell us a little bit about some of the acts that you have opened up for and maybe some of the collaborations that you want to make in the future.
Yeah, this year has been such an exciting year, and I have to thank, my team, my supporters, I thank Bernard, I thank Lala, Chica, Live Life Entertainment, Stacy. There's just so many people I can list. I can list a lot of them, but there's just so many to list. Um, they've allowed me to raise my vibration and attract the things I've wanted to attract for so long, and just really be able to attract, opening up for people like, for example, Destra, Luciano, Baby Sham at Jerkfest. That was huge. I grew up listening to Destra. Every time the song, everybody take a jump, everybody knows that song, right? Take a
Right.
jump, all right. So like listening, like getting to meet Destra was such an honor for me because like how people might meet Beyonce, I looked at Destra like, oh my God, growing up, I used to listen to you. I used to love soca music. It was the only other music close to Afro beats that I could recognize outside like African music. I'm like, oh, soca music, it's like sounds similar to African music, you know? When I was growing up and trying to develop my identity, all that stuff. You know, you go through that as you're getting older. But other artists I've opened up for even quite recently is there's an artist named Stonebwoy. He's a big, huge artist coming out of Ghana. And he has a strong
Yep.
Afro dancehall sound too. So it
Yep.
was an honor being able to open up for him because I kind of share the same vibe as him in a sense where we both like that Caribbean music too and want to kind of express that in our music here and there, you know.
Right.
So it just fits so nicely being able to open up for an artist that can from Ghana to the same country. So it's just like it's been good, and I'm hoping to open up for more artists. As time goes on, God will continue to open doors for me. I'm going to be potentially on different shows, such as opening up for a girl named Uncle Waffles, who's a big, huge DJ. I'm not sure if you heard of her. Have you heard of Uncle
Mhm.
Waffles?
The
Yes.
Amapiano craze
Yes.
has made it to it.
Yes.
She got to
Yes.
be here,
Yes. So
Stonebwoy. Mm-hmm.
yeah, so that's that's something I'm looking forward to being part of. I've been to so many festivals, Afro Fest, Jerk Fest, Afro Care Fest, so many festivals around the Toronto area. I'm ready to definitely continue to just grow and go worldwide. Come see y'all right directly in Atlanta. You know what I'm saying? When the weather's nice. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. It's gonna be nicer here for us than it is for you in Canada in a few months.
I know. I do
That's
not
all
look
right.
forward to
That's all
what's
right.
about to happen.
You gonna bring the heat. We gonna bring the heat, and it's gonna be all good. Now, tell us, Silla. I love the lyrics in the songs that we just played. We played "Lonely" and we played "She Bad." Are is your pen at work? These? How much of your writing do you do?
I do 100% of my writing.
Awesome,
Yes. Yeah,
awesome.
I do.
Go girl.
I do. Yes, yes. My songs, they come from a lot of time it comes from a personal place, whether it's about me or whether something has inspired me from a story, you know, that's pretty much where it all starts off. It all starts with the vibe, with music, it's all about energy and all about vibe.
Yep.
I hear a beat and I just close the light, especially when I was listening to, when I made the song Lonely, I was just in like a vibe at home, it was raining. I just closed the light, had my LED lights. I was just playing the beat, and I was like, man, only, only. I start humming little things, just thinking about being in a place of infatuation. Like the song "Lonely" is a song about infatuation, not necessarily being like, alone, but just
Mm,
missing somebody. You feel so lonely because you miss that particular person. You want them around. It's a happy song in a way where it's like you miss somebody. You just want to hug them and hold them, and sometimes it's hard because you just gotta give people their space, and you just want them to come over and just hang out. You know, it's one of those kind of songs. It's a song about infatuation. That's where it came from. And my song "She Bad" is more of a song about just, you know, being a little bit rebellious, being a strong woman, and even when I say that she's rude, I'm not necessarily being, talking about being a rude person, but more being like confident, setting boundaries.
okay.
That's the type of thing. I mean, when I say certain things in a song, especially with "She Bad," it's not really a feminist song. It's an empowerment song. Even the second verse, I say, you know, a woman is like a queen is fit for a king. Because it comes every queen is a king, every king is a queen. That's how I look at it. So once both people are leveled up at that kind of space, then everything's good. So that's what that song kind of comes from, a place of that. Getting someone that's at your level.
Yeah.
Of
Okay.
queenship.
I hear you. All right.
Well, go on. I love
Bad,
the
bad, bad, bad,
blues,
bad.
the patois. Tell us a little bit more about the Ghanaian slang and the patois that they use in Ghana.
Well, the slang in Ghana, they speak different languages, right? And the main language like that I'm used to is called Tree, right? It's a Shanti language from the Shanti tribe. People in Kumasi speak this language predominantly, but most people actually in Ghana can speak this. It's like the English in Ghana. the next language would be tree. So, like for example, in Lonely, I do add a little bit in Lonely more so. You'll hear like when I say, oh yeah, makuma, yeah, oh yeah, makuma. That's me saying like, you're my sweetheart. Eh? You're my sweetheart. Oh,
Uh,
so that's the kind of slang I add in there. But you'll hear a lot of times, like a lot of Afro beats, they sing in something called pigeon, where they say that like in regular word you'd be like I love you, in pigeon it'd be like, I did love you, or something like that, right? Or
okay.
whereas like I know in Patois they would say like me love you, me love you.
See,
I'm not real Jamaican, so I don't want to be butchering the Patois. You know what I'm saying?
you
To be
good.
honest
You
with you,
good. You
but
good.
that's how I
It's
kind of,
so
be picking out different slang, whatever fits in the song. I just kind of pick. I'm like, do I want to say look a patois here? Or do I want to say a little bit of the pigeon here? Or do I do a little bit of the tree there? Or just a little English here?
Well,
So I
it's
just be
all
playing around
sounding
with
good. It's all sounding good.
yeah,
It's love it.
whatever works.
Yeah.
Or
So
do the
tell us,
mosquito fly.
we're working on an upcoming freshman EP. So tell us a little bit about that and the mood, the energy of this EP for you as you're putting it together.
Sorry. So what? Sorry, you want to know the energy of the EP that I'm
Yeah.
putting together? Well, it's gonna be my first EP, and I'm super excited because I've been working really hard for this EP and putting a lot of energy into making the songs really, really good. I really feel like it's gonna do really well. Every song it tells a story, and that's what I want to do is tell a story. And I'm very, very nitpicky about my songs, so it's like I have so many songs, but just having to choose just a top 10 songs was really tough for me, and I'm still kind of trying to break it down to like the last five that I want to release first, for my very first album. So the process is just really I'm looking at what is going to be the best way to push the image of Silla so people can be introduced to who I am and what I'm about, So definitely like Lonely and Shibata are going to be on the EP as well.
Okay.
And then yeah, because that's something that's like songs that Lonely is a song that's doing so well. When I released it, it just took off, so I'm so grateful for that. And then Shibata is a song that people just love. Like every time I perform it, women just be like, yes, you know what I mean? Like they just feel good, and I love and men too, like everybody. And I just love to see people enjoying themselves, and feeling good. So that the energy is really based on what I think people are going to really respond to and really like. Um, and yeah, it's hard because I have so many songs to choose from.
Wow. So tell us a little bit about My Way, featuring Julius X.
Um, My Way. So that song is a song I released some time ago. It is a song for motivation. I was in a time where I was surrounding myself by a lot of bad energy and not realizing it. Sometimes we surround ourselves with people that are not good energy and we just allow them to penetrate our energy. And, it got to a point where I had to know, what, it's time for me to set boundaries because this is not going the way I want to go. So I have to do things my way. So that's where the word my, like the sentence my way came from. It's like, this is how I want to do things. I'm not going to worry about bad mind people because they're just going to slow me down. I'm not going to let those things cause me to be insecure about what I'm doing. You just got to be confident. So that's where the song came from. This came from just a place of wanting to be positive and wanting to be inspired.
I love it. I love it.
Yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, we are speaking with
Oh, no.
Silla. She is a Canadian-based Afrobeat artist. She's got that lovely sultry R&B sound in there too. She's got a little bit of everything, and I'm really feeling the vibe. Silla, tell people how they can follow you, follow your career, find your music, producers if they want to contact you, promoters around the world who are ready to bring you out on tour. Tell the people how they can contact you.
Well, so you can always find me on Instagram. That's SILLA, live, love, laugh. You already know that's my slogan. That's why I follow SILLA. And then you can also get in contact with my manager. That's Bernard. Shout out to Bernard for setting this up. That's at bhillconnected@gmail.com. And I also have my website as well. at www.onlysilla.com. And also on YouTube, you can check out a lot of my videos. I got a lot of videos of the content and the events that I've just spoke about. So definitely check it out on YouTube under Silla, Silla music.
All right.
God.
You know
Yes,
what?
girl.
I want to touch a little bit more of that one because I'm really, really feeling this. Ladies and gentlemen,
Hey.
Silla has been with us right here on the Island Heat Show. Yo, she bad, y'all. She bad.
Thank you guys for having me.
One love each and every time. And come on back as soon as the EP drops, please.
Thank you. I'm the next.
Shape food on the mountain claim.
Yo, Silla, big up every time. Okay.
But she rude, she real rude. So fierce, no man can tame her. Can't tame her. Oh, when she got style, she run the thing. Nobody can tell her nothing. Independent lady, she's bossing. I'm a pretty lady, just believe it, feel it, read it, breathe it. Looking so good every season. Now you know I forgive you no reason. She's a queen, yeah. She bad, no lie. She bad, she fine, yeah. She bad, no lie. She bad, she fine, yeah. She bad, no lie, yeah. She bad, she fine, yeah. She bad, yeah.
Welcome to Island Heat. This is your hostess, Lady Lalabella. Want to get more trivia and new music from the hottest Caribbean artists based in Atlanta? Go subscribe to the Island Heat radio show on YouTube and click get notifications for exclusive content. Tap in and keep it locked.